Welcome everybody again. Josh Mosh in the pit. We had a little glitch there. It's a good way to start the show. That means it's going to be great. So let's just get it going then. What's up? Numero dos.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man.
It's been a wild ass week in wrestling. We had full gear over the weekend we got to talk about. We had the Nick Gage Invitational to talk about. Mission Pro ran. No, that was last week. Anyway,
yeah.
Tons of stuff to
Mission
talk
Pro's
about.
already announced their new one. Like they're already dropping matches.
That's what I'm thinking about.
PPW's involved without.
Ooh, I saw that. I literally can't wait for that match.
It's literally going to steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Mission Pro, women wrestling, segue. Out of the shadows, he appears.
I tried to do the Rim Peel Tool Shaw Kaiju Red Side thing because Kunimitsu from Tekken 7's out. What's good? But anyway, how's it going, y'all?
I'm confused now, but I'm good.
Hey, Ninja Game Sides, you got to catch up. But anyway, it's funny y'all literally brought up Mission Pro Wrestling because that is where your boy was at this past Friday. I'm not going to go through the entire card, but I'm just going to go with my top 3 favorite moments from Mission Pro. Like y'all literally just mentioned, Miss Maddie Rankowski had one of the more impressive showings to date of her career. And if you go to her Facebook page, she definitely showed a highlight of her sick ass axe kick that she murdered Jenna Lynn, the karate black belt. And the fact that you got murdered by an axe kick by the San Antonio Kardashian, that is saying a lot right there. And of course, I just mentioned Jasmine Allure got involved in Maddie's match in the tournament, so that's set up for their PPW women's title match that they're going to have at the next Mission Pro right there. Exactly. And I also got to shout out Lacey motherfucking Ryan. She continues to be the unstoppable goat as she had 2 impressive showings against Vert Vixen and ringing the bell. Oh, Rachel Rose. And shout out to the ref Yali, because at the end of the match when Rachel was holding the ropes too badly, Yali just yanked Rachel Rose out of there to have a little confrontation, which resulted in Lacey Ryan picking up the W and setting up the finals with her and La Rosa Negra on December 11th for Mission Pro. So that is legit.
For the Mission Pro Championship. Yeah.
Exactly. It's determined the first ever champ right there. And also shout outs to Thunder Rosa and Ray Lynn for putting on another slugger. If y'all look at Ray Lynn, y'all know that she is not a prototypical Barbie. This woman can throw it down. And all that, plus another entertaining Mission Pro show. Definitely thrilled to go into their show in December, which transitions into the other show that I went to this past weekend, which is SWE Theory, because they had their tape-ins in regards for their shows that they have. And that transitions to my woman of the week for November 12th, because they honored the baddest woman in the planet, WWE ECW legend and still NWA women's champion, because she never lost the belt technically, Jazz right here, because for those that don't know, you already know Jazz's resume. Last WWF Women's Champion, first WWE Women's Champion, 2-time WrestleMania competitor, first African American to defend it and retain at Mania. Made Trish Stratus look like $1 million to where she finally got a Hall of Fame ring. You name it. As well as being the longest reigning NWA Women's Champion. But the reason why she's my woman of the week, as you see in that plaque right there, SWE honored her before the tape-ins and made her the first ever inductee into the SWE Theory Hall of Fame. So that's a big accomplishment right there for the 20-plus year veteran right there. And for all you ladies down here in San Antonio, or men in general, there's especially going to be a ladies training sessions with Jazz partnered up with Thunder Rosa at the Dog Pound. So definitely hit them up on the social medias if you want to trade in them and that makeup. Want to shout out to our good friend Lindsay Hendricks for getting that shit done. Ladies, if you want to get some good makeup done, you want to get that shit done, hit up your girl Lindsay Hendricks, because we know everybody loves Lindsay, and SWE loved her so much that they booked her a spot as part of SWE's Glam Squad. So congrats to her on that. So but yeah, Jazz resume speaks for itself. That plaque and honor that she got at SWE solidifies the deal, which is why she's indeed my woman of the week. So, but before I hop off to heavy metal, I just want to give a special shout out, and Melody will talk more about it later. Brandy Rhodes, or Brandy Brantavia Rose, or Brandy Branquiqui Rose, or as I call it, Brandy had a Gina from Martin Moment on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Whoever that tall drink of water is right there. I will leave that for Melody right there. But in the meantime, I'm going to hop off over to heavy metal. So peace out, y'all.
Appreciate you, man. Be safe. Enjoy heavy metal.
I will.
A lot of great stuff going down. A lot of great stuff going down in the world of wrestling right now.
Hell yeah, man. So we talked about that, and again, that he kind of breezed over, but PPW championship will be on the line at the Mission Pro Run It Back due to Jasmine's interference. That's we don't play that shit with PPW, even if it's not even our show. Like, you know what I mean? We still handle our business the way we handle our business.
You can't look weak in the game. You know what I mean?
Nope. So we literally know how that's going to go. So let's move on to the next segment.
Well, boys, I got a winner for you. I got some pictures, but Josh will put them up. I'm going to talk about the NGI first, and then we'll get to the pictures. Okay. This weekend was the Nick Gage Invitational, which for those of y'all that don't know, it's one of GCW's deathmatch tournaments they do. It starts off as it's like anything else. Starts off with a rounds 4, comes down to a finals of 2. But the big talk for these was Masada actually came out of semi-retirement or whatever he kind of does, and he joined it, the Nick Gage Invitational. And I wanted to start off by highlighting the results. Mance Warner defeated Low Life Louie in an opening match, and that was a killer. Low Life Louie came out with his son, and Louie put it on the line. Like, he looked really good. It was a great match. At one point, there was a TV on a stick, and Louie took it. But it was Low Life Louie.
TV on the stick?
Yep, a TV on a stick. That's exactly what it sounds like. That's exactly what it was. So shout out to Low Life Louie for bringing something different to the Nick Gage Invitational. Also, way to put it. Huh?
Different is a way to put that. Different.
Yeah, it was crazy. He came out with his son, and his son had a keyboard on a stick, like a typing keyboard. So it was interesting weapon choices. I really liked it, actually. Shane Mercer defeated Lucky 13 in a match, and the big talk for that one was just simply Mercer powerbombed Lucky out of the ring onto the floor below, which luckily was sand, but it didn't look like it. It didn't feel. It looked nasty. It was a sick bump. So shout out to Lucky 13 for taking that one, because I would have probably taken gusset plates before that. I don't know. Maybe. It depends. But anyway, Alex Colon defeated Arrow Boy in a round ladders and light tubes match. That was a killer opening round match. Great one. There was a lot of really good highlights, but I really enjoying Arrow Boy's run right now as well. Alex Colon went over on that one, and then Masada defeated AJ Gray. In the semifinals, Mance Warner defeated Alex Colon in a shocker. We really thought Alex Colon would go on, but that was a good surprise for me, at least.
That's always nice.
Huh?
I mean, us being wrestling fans, I like to be surprised because it happens so rarely now that we've been watching for so long.
We did not expect Mance Warner to go over. That was the surprise of the two. Masada went over Shane Mercer, which you could kind of see that one coming. They had a banger of a match. It was a really good one, but obviously they were going to go over. And then lastly, Mance Warner actually defeated Masada. We don't know if the ending was there or if maybe they had to cut it short. Masada was going to elbow Mance Warner, and he cut his arm. And he started seeing dark blood, which in the world of death matches means you probably hit an artery. So he kind of said, okay, let's go ahead and go home, finish it, and be done. But overall, decent show. Really good setup. The big talk for me, though, is the pictures that are to come. There was a fan at the end of this. Ricky Shane Page and 44-0 come out to cut a big old promo on everybody. This guy sitting here was, as you can tell, I've circled it because he has a air horn, which I'll talk about that in a second. Like, it's not uncommon in deathmatch wrestling, but the reality of it is, was extremely loud, and Ricky was trying to cut a promo, trying to further along a storyline, and he kept going. So Ricky Shane Page actually turns around and tries to be like, hey, man, shut the fuck up. And the next thing you know, they're in each other's faces, and the big controversy was Big Boy here is going to go ahead and drop his mask down while he argues face-to-face with Ricky Shane Page, which is a serious no-no. It was a big deal. Ricky Shane Page claims that he called him a homophobic slur. You can't hear anything like that on the tape or anything. I kind of take Ricky Shane Page's word for it. The guys in a couple groups we're in, he swears he didn't do it, but it just seems weird. And I've never really like Ricky Shane Page seemed legit. Like he was telling them, get this guy out of here. Like, get him the fuck out of here. I don't want him behind me. It was a big ordeal. My big concern with it is A, the mask is down, and B, the air horns going during a promo. Like, I've done it. We all get loud at shows. God knows that these two groups, we love to show off and we're prideful. But, I've learned to myself in the past that there's a line that everybody will tolerate and everybody will listen to you up until a certain point. And the fan was being extremely obnoxious. I kind of have to say shame on GCW for not protecting Ricky Shane Page better in that situation, because even when the guy got a mask down, like Brett Lauderdale did everything he could, but apparently the guy's got a long history of being a fan with them. So it was a tough spot, but fans, keep your mask up on your face. Big no-no. Don't shout out your air horns when people are doing promos. Like, let the show go on. Like,
don't try to get over, you know what I mean? Like,
right, fans don't need to get over. Like, we have our moment, and we have our point, and there's a point where that serves a purpose, and it does serve
be loud at the right time.
One time, God bless me, I'm so sorry, Biss. One time, I thought it'd be funny to see how many times I could yell "kick him in the dick" at an Inspire show, and the people around me reacted very negatively to it, and it was a lesson learned. Like, I got it. I was like, okay, too far, too much. So now, you learn. The other big thing is Indiana has become a hot state, so deathmatch wrestling up there is going to go ahead and take a rest for a while. So IWA had to shut down a couple shows that they were running, but we'll see what happens after COVID. And by the way, David, that's not a new figure. That's the same one. I just kind of tilted my camera different, but that's my Conan picture that Numero Uno brought me back, or my Conan figure. But so shout out to David because he's always asking me about shit. Love you, brother.
Yeah, man. He's definitely, what is it? Top fan? Is that Facebook jargon? Yeah. Top fan.
Like sometimes David is the only person that cares about Numero Dos' personality. Like, I'm a gimmick that David likes. So, Julio, good point. Like there's a line, like, wrestlers have said that they need us to a certain point, but it was obnoxious. If you ever get a chance to watch it. That's me. I took 2 minutes. Sorry, Angel.
Ooh, Angel. Let's bring him in.
Hey, what's up?
2 minutes. Let's just bring him in without him being ready.
I know, right? Hey, that's all right. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. Boom, boom. I'm in the camera. Boom. Kick him in the dick. Yep. That should be a great shirt. Hey, maybe next to another militia shirt. Right. So, all right. Yeah.
If they ever do merch.
Maybe we can do a collab. Anyways, I like that. Like a little shake head.
Get along well.
Yeah, so it's been a minute since I've been on, so I got a lot to cover. So we're gonna run through them real quickly, and I'm gonna try not to rant, but most likely I will fail fucking horribly. Anyways, so like I said earlier this year, New Japan wrestling in general is all about freaking tournaments at the ass. Like we just got done talking about the Nick Gage Invitational. Now let's talk about New Japan. And now let's talk about the first one, which is the Super J Cup, December 12th. Now, what's pretty cool about this is they used to run it every couple years. This is something that Yushin Thunder Liger normally runs. Last year, our man ELP here actually won, so he's actually coming back, and it is amazing. I'm going to talk about it real quick. And also, so last year, it kind of sucked because it was pre-taped, and all the results came out on Twitter like weeks before, like 2 weeks prior to them releasing videos. So that shit sucked. So I couldn't really enjoy it. Like, we got to see, there's supposed to be this awesome match with Will Ospreay versus Amazing Red. Great match, but it just wasn't the same not watching it live. So what they're doing this year is a one night event. All the fighters, all the wrestlers are going to fight in that one tournament, and we're going to get a winner that day. Now, what's pretty cool about this year is this is a wide variety of fucking people. Like last year, it was kind of like, oh, hey, Amazing Red, whatnot. Like this year, we have guys from like GCW, Impact, from the England, right? We have guys from. So we have Ray Horace over here. Obviously a big lucha guy in the South California area. We have our man Chris Bay from Impact. We have Leo Rush from GCW, who's fucking absolutely killing it. I'm glad he did not retire. And of course, Christian Blake, right? That's it, right? Christian Blake?
Yep.
Yes,
Blake
right.
Blake
Blake Christensen. You know what?
Blake Christensen.
Somewhere around there, right?
Blake Christian.
Yeah. Hey, he's badass. So I'm super excited. And ACH, which, by the way, if people are sleeping on ACH, they are sleeping. There's something wrong with them, because in GCW he plays an awesome fucking heel. Like, it is like, I love it.
One of the best matches of the collective. He had one of the best matches of the collective.
It is, and the thing is, he's a veteran now, so now he's the one helping guys like Chris Bay, you know, stuff like that. So this tournament is going to be amazing. I'm looking so forward to it. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know that ELP is coming back. I haven't seen ELP in a long minute, so I'm excited for that. Next tournament. Now, so we're having 2 tournaments in one. So it's going to be the best of Super Juniors and the World Tag League, which I will talk in a second, which thankfully, because normally, ACH, my man. So normally we would get Best of Super Juniors earlier in the year, right? And then it will be its own thing, which is pretty cool because no other promotion has their junior heavyweights headline shows by itself, and they sell tickets, which says so much about that division. And you have the World Tag League. And I'll get that in a second. But so putting both together, it actually helps out because after Power Struggle, there's always like a dead period with the World Tag League. So including the Best of Super Juniors makes the best of both worlds. So we have last year, we have some of the guys here that have won previously. What's pretty cool is I like to see that we have Robbie Eagles. We haven't seen him in a while, so that's gonna be some good matches here. When we get closer to it, I'll do a breakdown of who's who and what's what. But I'm excited for this one. Next, the World Tag League. The shit that no one gives a flying fuck about. But I'm gonna pretend like I care. So what we have here, we actually have some really good, very interesting tag teams here, right? So we have Tai Chi and Zach, who are the current tag team champions. We have Fale coming back. Who gives a fuck? Tama and Tonga, they're finally coming back to Japan. So we're going to see some great matches out of them. We have Shingo Takagi and Sonata. That's going to be great. Juice and Finlay, they won like 2 times, and who cares? But, okay, Moxley doing a show. So Moxley, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit when I talk about the Power Struggle. That's a very interesting situation because I don't know what's going to happen there. Oh, but another thing is we have the great Ocon and a unknown tag team partner, meaning that it's going to be a 3rd person or 4th person that's going to be part of the Empire. So we'll get to that. Yes. And that's the World Tag League. The less said is better. I actually spent a lot more time than I probably thought I was going to. So let's quickly move forward. So Power Struggle. Okay, so I'm going to run through these real quickly. So first we have Tori Giano beat Zack Sabre Jr. in a ridiculous fucking match where it was no turnbuckles, no mats or whatever. So they did a little shenanigans, and in the end, Zack Sabre Jr.'s laces gets tied up in the fence, and he gets counted out. Funny. Next.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, next, then we have Shingo Takagi versus Suzuki, and Shingo won the never open weight title again. It sucks. I love Suzuki, but Shingo is the right guy if we're trying to build new guys. And I heard that supposedly Suzuki might have gotten injured, might have gotten concussion during that match, but that's neither here or there. But unfortunately, hopefully he is all right. But good to see Shingo, and of course, Los Ingobernables de Japón have another title again. Next match. Okay. So I honestly thought Tanahashi was going to win this match against Kenta. It was actually a pretty decent match considering everything, right? And what's actually really cool, there's a cool story where Kenta said during his backstage promo that years ago he was having lunch with Tanahashi, Nakamura, and Asuka. And he felt so out of place because he's like, I don't belong here, right? I'm around these legends, and it's just me. But now he's at a point in his life that he feels he deserves to sit on that table. So I thought that was a very, very cool story that he told. So this was for the briefcase to fight Jon Moxley. Now, Jon Moxley has to come to Japan to obviously fight at Wrestle Kingdom. There's been no indications that that's happening. There might be some AEW conflict with some of the booking and matches. So in a perfect world, he has 2 chances because Wrestle Kingdom is going to be 2 nights for Moxley to come to Japan and wrestle Kenta. But honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with Jon Moxley in the U.S. title. in the perfect world, they should have removed the title from Jon Moxley a long time ago. But I mean, and until we see an actual announcement, you know, we're just gonna be hoping that Jon Moxley shows up at Wrestle Kingdom, you know. So next match, okay. So Okada went ahead and he beat the Great Ocon in a pretty decent match, considering the Great Ocon is actually, you know, just coming off his excursion. Now, Will Ospreay actually came out looking very different. Now he's all posh. He came out drinking champagne on the side. His promo was a little back and forth of why he turned on Okada. He's like, oh, you're holding me down, or I used you, or I wanted to make more money. It was like kind of all over the place. But the overall point of the promo was we're going to get Will Ospreay versus Okada. Yes, that's going to be a fucking banger. Motherfucking banger. Sorry, heavy metal, but that's a motherfucking banger. Talking about. Okay, next match. Okay. My man. Okay. So the unthinkable happened. Jay White has won the briefcase from Ibushi. This has never, ever happened. This is the first time, and it happened to Ibushi, which is interesting because last year he lost both of the matches at Wrestle Kingdom, and he was kind of on his way back up. And again, he broke some records by him winning the G1 again, but Jay White stole the fucking briefcase. He literally stole it because he actually had his legs on the rope and actually pinned him. So it's insane. Like this is like, I cannot explain how monumental this is. This has never, ever happened, right? And already Jay White is explaining that wait, thank you for the feedback. But I saw one guy is in a state of fear. Anyway, I could be wrong. So that one guy is in the state of
focus, fear. Angel, focus.
Anyways, yeah, sorry. My bad. Okay.
It
was a long thing. Okay. But yes, so in a perfect world, Ibushi, this means Ibushi does not have a title shot. Let's go to the fucking next match. So now it was a terrible fucking match between Evil and Naito. Yep, Evil and Naito. And what we have here, we have our man here looking real posh and shit. So we're going to go down. Naito won. So in a perfect fucking world, Naito should be going up against Jay White. Unfortunately, Naito said because Ibushi helped him out that we're going to get Ibushi versus Naito night 1, Jay White against the winner of that night 2. Now, we already fucking did that. Why the fuck are we doing that shit again? Makes absolutely no goddamn sense. Because again, if he lost a fucking briefcase, that means he should not be fighting for the fucking title. So by doing this, it negates the whole fucking G1 in the fucking briefcase. But it's New Japan, and it's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that happens. But other than that, that's all I have. And we should never fucking see Evil versus Naito again. And don't ever fucking devalue goddamn G1.
You remain to stay calmer than I thought you were. Yeah.
Are you going to the G1? Are you going to the G1?
Oh, man.
Are you going to the G1?
Fuck off. Oh, Lord. Oh,
all right, man. We're running behind, so we're going to let you go, man.
Yeah,
appreciate you dropping all the knowledge.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Passion. I
so
love
much.
that.
So much knowledge. So let's move on to our other expert. So we got to keep it moving. We'll move it to AEW. We're talking about Moxley and stuff. So
I know.
AEW, right?
So much going on in the world of wrestling. Had a great weekend of wrestling. I mean, 2 wrestling shows plus the pay-per-view. And then the Dynamite, after the pay-per-view, it's so crazy. So the pay-per-view, if you guys have not watched it, go watch it. It was brilliant. And I loved it from beginning to end. The cinematic match with Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara totally delivered. Matt Hardy even brought in to close out a storyline he started 2 years ago in WWE. He finished it on AEW. With the masked man being Gangrel, and of course Hurricane was being held but captive. And what took you so long? He's like, well, it took me 2 years. I had to find AEW and get signed. And so I love it. He tied up loose ends. He tied up loose ends. I mean, talk about long-term storytelling.
Long-term storytelling. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was great.
All of it.
I did too. I loved it. I mean, who doesn't love them fighting with Roman candles in North Carolina. Then you had Jericho, MJF. MJF's in the inner circle. There was an induction yesterday, which is still weird because this whole it's weird. They're going to Vegas. I don't know what that means. We'll find out later on. The one big pop was, of course, in the buy-in. Serena Deeb holds the NWA Women's title, and you had her going against Sienna, aka Allysin Kay, which is amazing, great match. At the end of the match, Serena retains, but pop, surprise, Thunder Rosa's there. She wants her title back. It's gonna be a battle. We already saw from Thunder Rosa in her social medias that she has been back in Jacksonville. She was there yesterday, so we know she's gonna pop up somewhere again. Yeah. But who knows when and who knows where. But she is coming back.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
It was great. I popped for it. I was so happy.
Yeah, I lost my shit. I was yelling across the house and everything.
Yeah, it was perfect the way they did it. It was perfect the way they did it. I mean, that's exactly how it should be. It should be a surprise. There should be no spoilers, no leaking, no pictures, nothing. Just all of a sudden she's there, especially off of a Friday, off of Mission Pro show.
Yeah,
what
she was at her show.
Like 3 hours of sleep.
Yep, that's how she rolls anyway, though. So yeah.
Yeah, that's how she rolls. So it was, and the pay-per-view also delivered a lot of, title changes, 2 title changes to be exact. Darby ended up beating Cody for the TNT belt, which is great. I think Darby is a good choice. They've battled a couple of times, and it was a good match. It was a really good match. And and then we saw that the Young Bucks finally get the tag team titles after a year. They beat FTR after their rivalry. After
them trying to do flips, the flip went wrong. There was like so much storytelling happening. Yeah.
Yeah, that match had a lot of storytelling to it, and it had a lot of lead up to it. So it wasn't just this match that was just flips and dives, blah, blah, blah. No, the FTR tried to keep those guys grounded. Every time they try to get something in, Matt was working injured, which he is actually injured, but there's just nothing they can do about it. Apparently he has a strained ACL, and he had an MCL injury that was old from a couple years ago that they saw, but there's nothing they can do about it. It's just worn, just a worn down ACL. Yep. So he's working with strained muscle, which is understandable. So to play into that, he's got an injury in the ring, and it works, and it worked for it. It added to the storytelling of the match. It made it more dramatic, and it made the win even that much sweeter. I think in the end. I love seeing them. I like to see what they're going to do as tag team champions. We're already going to see that they've set it up for Dynamite, that the next show they're going to go against the new signees, which is Top Flight.
What did you think of them celebrating like a NBA team, like doing the champagne? I guess because there's a shout out to the Lakers, I guess. I mean, they had the Lakers colors. But
they had the Lakers colors, which, I loved it because, they're not drinkers anyway. They're straight edge. So they had the sparkling cider, and they're spraying that everywhere, and it was hilarious. I loved it.
Locker rooms with the plastic, like what you see whenever a baseball team or football team wins. Like I thought that was pretty clever.
And they even had the hat. I mean, as soon as they won, they had the hats and they had the T-shirts ready. I was like, oh my god, of course they did. Nastico.
I thought I smelled something.
But it was a great overall show. I think that they showcased their talent. They gave you a little preview of what was to come. And on Dynamite, we got to finally see Pac has returned. They got him back to the States, and he is in. I think that guy got like more muscles maybe in quarantine. Everybody else went backwards. So, I mean, I still remember Neville when he was like the skinny guy in WWE, and now he's Pac, the bastard, and he is just muscles everywhere. And they have him going against Eddie Kingston, who's like basically destroying his house. I know a lot of fans did not like Miss Cargill, who's the new signee for AEW, did not like her promo. I loved her promo. It was smooth. It was methodical. It was slow, like a slow build. And then, of course, Brandy comes out here and totally destroys her. And then just a little icing on the cake, Cargill taps her on the butt and like walks away. It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's setting it up for something. Shaq, I'm on the fence about it. Come on, let's be honest. Do we need Shaq? No, probably not.
Been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like that's already been done. I love Shaq too. Like as an athlete, like he's one of my all-time favorite athletes. But yeah, I don't need him in wrestling anymore.
I don't need him in wrestling. I don't.
Especially against Cody.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's an angle that they're trying to bring in or whatever, but I guess we'll have to see what happens because I'm not feeling it. I love Jade Cargill. I like her character. I'm excited to see what she's going to bring to the women's division, but I'm not feeling the whole Shaq thing right now. So we'll see what happens. I did like that they have this dissension between MJF and Sammy Guevara brewing. They have that.
Hager and Wardlow keep looking at each other.
Yeah. Hager and Wardlow keep looking at each other. So, I like the fact that they've already, even before they finished the pay-per-view, there were already so many other storylines set up, which is what they're really good at doing. Yeah. And, and then to go back to the pay-per-view, the main event, Eddie Kingston and John Moxley, talk about emotional, talk about barbed wire around the face and throat. And so Eddie Kingston said quit after John Moxley put the barbed wire around his arm and then put him in a chokehold, which, ouch.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. I didn't think, I knew he was going to go over, but I didn't think it would be clear or clean like that, just a flat out, there's no debate, it's over. I guess they were just ready to move Eddie's moving to Pac, I guess is what the plan is. Just get him up.
Yeah, that's what it is. I like
Moxley, Omega.
Yeah, they had to end it with Eddie Kingston, and I think it was great. It was emotional. Eddie cut a promo afterwards on being the elite, and damn, it was an emotional little promo. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. And he's just like, this isn't just wrestling. It's his life. He gave up having kids and a wife for this life, and so it's pretty emotional. But I love it. I loved it. And then so we got a little color in that match. Then skip to Dynamite. Man, talk about adding some color.
Yeah,
Butcher the Blade. Yeah, Butcher and the Blade versus the Nightmare Family. Holy crap. QT Marshall's nose was just gushing. And then you had Blade with
Look at him. Look at Brad. Blood? What? Blood?
Oh, I saw it. It hit the deathmatch guys too. They were like, look at this.
Yeah, that match was crazy. QT Marshall definitely stepped out of what we think is his comfort zone, and he was diving off ladders, and he smacked his nose and throw with this and that, and he was throwing everything at him, and those guys, they delivered. And I know I'm back and forth, but man, between the pay-per-view and then Dynamite, my weekend of wrestling was set this week, guys. And then on Sunday, I was at Atlas Wrestling, which you'll talk more about with Elijah. So,
he's in the wrestling weekend. You just got him hyped up. He's pumped up now.
I know.
Y'all can't see it, but yeah, he's pumped right now. Cool.
Elijah, you're one of my faves, Elijah. I got you.
I'm sure he'll bring it up.
I'm sure. It was a great weekend for wrestling. Coming up, there's going to be another great weekend for wrestling here in Texas. I just something that someone else has said. Be safe, wear your mask, social distance. So far, the shows I've gone to here in Texas, everybody's following the rules. So I love it, and let's keep being safe so we can keep having shows.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mel.
Thanks, guys.
You're awesome. Thanks. Yeah.
Gotta be safe.
We just have some great experts on this show, I gotta say. I'm glad I get to be here with you guys. I'm not an expert of anything. I'm just a fan. It's awesome. Well, let's just move it on. We mentioned, Mel kind of mentioned our guest, and he's been patiently waiting, and he's probably got a little hyped up now from from Mel. So let's bring in the King Cobra, Elijah Galindo. How are you doing, sir?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing great. How are y'all?
What's up, man?
Doing good, man. Like the shirt, repping here.
You already know I got to represent.
You got to do it, man. You got to do it. That's the way it is.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not wearing a PPW shirt, but I think we promote PPW enough on the show.
Yes, sir. You got to
How you
represent.
been, man?
I've been good. We recently had our second, or I would say it was our first official show. We did Ascension back in September, but there was no crowd or anything. It was only a 3-match card, so we kind of considered it like a showcase. But yeah, that show was pretty successful. We got over 1,000 streams in less than 3 hours. So to me, I thought that was an accomplishment.
For a first, out of the box, yeah.
Yeah. So I was really cool. I was really excited about that. But recently we had a homecoming on Sunday, which Mel was talking about a little bit. And that was our first official shows. And actually, after this stream here tonight, we're actually going to be streaming homecoming on the AWP page. So if you guys want to check it out, see what it's about, feel free.
Tune in, guys.
That would be fun. Yeah. We had a 6-match card. We had the likes of Max Heights on the card, Alex Arsenal, Eric Shadows, Pac Ortega, a lot of upcoming talent, so definitely be sure to check it out. It's going to be a fun one.
That's a show with Pistolero Valers too, right?
Pistolero was actually on Ascension. We were going to bring him for homecoming, but some stuff came up.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, definitely. We also have the Dre team on there too. I'm a big fan of the Dre team. I'm a big fan of their work. So
very cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, what we normally like to do, we like to bring talent on the show, like yourself, and also being, promoter. But so you're kind of wearing 2 hats. But we kind of like to. The goal of what we do here is to try to, educate the masses about Atlas Wrestling and Elijah Galindo. You know what I mean? Help to promote so that everybody can get a taste of what you've been working on, man. So
yes, sir.
Brad usually kicks off with some good questions.
Well, my question was simply just what's it like trying to be a wrestler and simultaneously run a promotion at the same time? Like, that's got to be a busy life for you, man.
Oh man, talk about it. Yeah, honestly, even when I'm at work, man, I have both hats on. I'm trying to talk to new talent, trying to bring on new people, trying to and I feel like the coolest thing about my job, about being a wrestler and then also being the person that kind of puts together the shows, I'm not going to take full credit. I do have a team that I work with. There are multiple co-owners, which hopefully everyone will get to know soon. But, I feel like the most rewarding part about it is the fact that I'm able to build so many connections, and I feel like the biggest thing with Atlas Wrestling Promotion that I love is we're trying to give even more of a platform to like wrestlers that we feel like maybe should have a little bit more light on them. So that way we can hopefully help them propel in their careers, and that's why I'm happy about our Title Match Network deal. We only had a half of a show, and Title Match Network was already willing to work with Atlas Wrestling Promotion, which to me, that tells me we're doing something right, so
absolutely.
I'm very excited about it.
Charlie's an amazing guy to work with too.
Yeah, and I feel like the coolest thing about it is it's tough. I'm not gonna say it's not tough. It is. Obviously me, when I was at homecoming, and I'm pretty sure Melanie can attest to this, or other wrestlers, but I'm all over the place, man. Like, I was at homecoming, I was controlling the music, I was making sure that the talent was ready for their matches, and then I was also had my own match too, so I also had to kind of be mentally prepared for everything. It was really tough, but man, it was really tough, but it's really rewarding at the end of the day, because the reason why we become professional wrestlers is because we love to entertain people, of course. And the biggest thing for me is I've always been a person that believes that hard work and dedication will get you to where you want to be in life. So the fact that I'm doing that and proving that not only with my business in AWP, but also as a wrestler, that proves it, man. The recipe is just hard work.
It doesn't fail.
It doesn't fail.
Hard work does not fail.
It doesn't fail. Yeah. So that's what it's like.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
So getting into what got you into wrestling in general? Like, what made you want to be an actual, like, what made you say, like, I want to be a wrestler? Like, this is what I want to do.
So wrestling's always been in my life. I would say when I was about the age of 3, I want to say my mom is watching the podcast in the other room. I'm pretty sure she can correct me. But I was really young when I started watching wrestling. The first ever show I went to was actually the Eddie Guerrero tribute show, because he had passed away the night before. And from what my family told me, I was a huge Eddie Guerrero fan, but that was the first ever live show I went to. So ever since that day, it kind of stuck with me. But what told me I wanted to be a wrestler was I was actually working in the oil fields, and I don't know, man, I just didn't feel it, like I was after high school, I had already graduated, and I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't fulfilling my life goal. And my whole life, I've always known I had a thing for entertainment. I love entertaining people. That's what I love to do. I love entertaining people. That's just me. And I was doing video game streams. I'm pretty sure you all have heard of Twitch.
Yeah.
I was on Twitch, making a little bit of money here and there. But I also liked working out. So then this is where I started putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I was like, okay, I like working out. I like fitness. I love entertaining people, and I love wrestling. But what really told me I needed to be a wrestler, I actually need to pursue this, is I had gone to Hell in a Cell. I think it was 2018, 2019 when it was here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I had gone to that show, and I don't know, man, that's where it clicked for me. I was just there watching the show, listening to the crowd, and I was like, I never stopped loving wrestling. And I was like, man, I really should do this. This has everything that I love, and this would be fulfilling for me. So right after that, I had started doing research on wrestling schools. And honestly, my research probably was not that great because I did not find too many schools here in Texas, when in reality there is. After
more than you think.
I realized it, I was like, man. But
even more now.
Yeah,
like recently.
Yeah, but I actually ended up at a pretty good academy, if I do say so myself. I actually wound up going and training with Seth Rollins over there at Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. So nice. I stumbled upon his academy, and that's when I got started. I got started last year.
Wow.
Well, you got a ton of people in the comment section. You got a lot of love, man. Like I got to tell you, I'm super shocked to hear the 2 years, because we were at that same show. We were all there as well. And it's just, when I think back to that show and what I've done with my life versus you, who has become a wrestler, open his promotion, like our comment section is lit right now. Like, you're doing well for yourself in my man.
That's great. Honestly, I'm trying to look at the comments, but I'm also trying not to get sidetracked. But I'm glad to know that there's love. I love you guys.
Yeah, there's been some love, man. So that's kind of what puts you over the edge. So now that you are a wrestler, like, who do you see yourself trying to? I know you went to Seth Rollins school, but like, whose move set, whose like gimmicks are you grabbing from to make the King Cobra? Like,
honestly,
who now, or who in the past? I mean, it could be either way.
That's a good question. Honestly, it's hard for me to say. I pull from different gimmicks. I feel like, so funny story. So whenever I was doing live streaming, right? You guys are familiar with Twitch, I'm pretty sure, correct?
Absolutely.
So how everyone has like alias, something they go by?
Sure.
Exotic has been what I've gone by forever, even on video games. So I stuck with the name. I stuck with my branding, which was a King Cobra. It was a snake. Now, the reason why I had done that, and this is really nerdy, I don't even know why, but I was a competitive gamer. I used to do competitive Call of Duty, and my thing was, whenever I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm fast, I'm sneaky, I'm all these different things. So I was thinking of a snake. That's how I came up with the gimmick, or with that alias and with that logo. And I stuck with it, man. I was thinking about it. I was like, there was a rattlesnake, there was a viper, there hasn't been a King Cobra. So I was like, you know what? Let me roll with it. And ever since then, that's kind of how I came up with that. But if I were to talk like of who I take from, it's kind of hard for me to say. But I can tell you this. I am a big fan of Edge. Is my all-time favorite. Edge is my all-time favorite wrestler. And obviously I am a huge fan of Eddie. Have been since ever when I was a kid and I first got into it. But it's hard for me to say kind of who I take from. But obviously I would say I do take a little bit kind of from Randy Orton, because he really does, portray a viper in a sense, So I would say I take a little bit from all of those guys, but it's kind of hard for me to say who I take from the most, because I feel like I take little piece by piece.
Well, I think that's the best way. You don't want to just grab one and do one, and then you're just that guy that's already there. It's good to kind of take the pieces and put it all together like a little puzzle.
That's kind of the best way to describe me. It's kind of hard for me to say who I take from the most.
Yeah, but that's a perfect answer. And Ed is one of my all-time. He's in my top 5 for sure.
Yes.
And that's great.
Yeah, and it's been insane, man.
So I know you talk about loving to entertain people. What's about wrestling is your favorite part of the entertainment? Like which part of the match or the interest? What is like, this is my shit. Like this is my thing right here.
I love it all, but if I had to choose one, obviously the entrances are cool. I'm not gonna lie. Coming out, doing your thing, getting the crowd to chant your name, whatever. Like all that is cool. But at the end of the day, I think I love the matches the most because obviously that's what gets people involved. But the reward for me has always been this, and I'm pretty sure there's people that can attest to this. I would say the biggest reward for me at the end of the night that makes me love it the most is just the platform that we have to really make a difference. That's the biggest thing for me personally. And I'm pretty sure there are others that have the same mindset as me. But for me personally, I feel like that is it because I've always used my platform to try to promote positivity. I've always, been on my social medias, trying to encourage people to chase their dreams. And I've had a lot of kids come up to me after shows and, or like during intermission, telling me that whether it was something I said on the mic or something I did that really like inspired them to chase their dreams. I even had one kid tell me that I inspired him to, chase his dream of being an NFL player. It's not wrestling, but that's something else, which is at the end of the day is something I love because I want to be able to use my platform to promote positivity and to promote, that try to influence kids to chase their dreams at the end of the day,
There's a kid right there that says Kimberly Flores' son loves King Cobra. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Right on time.
So being in the business only like 2 years, do you get a lot of flack from people for how far you've met? Like, I mean, in 2 years, you're living a wrestler's lifetime in 2 years. For a lot of guys, you wrestle and then you open a promotion, but you've done all that in 2 years. Like, do you catch flack from people, or do you feel like you got haters out there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there is hate out there, obviously, but
I guarantee it.
At the end of the day, I try my best, obviously, much like anyone else. I can't say that, it doesn't get to me because every now and then I'll read it and I'll be like, man, I wonder why they don't like me, or like, I wonder like what I'm doing that's bothering them. But at the end of the day, I've always told myself that, if people are hating on what I'm doing, that just means I'm doing something right, but I'm never going to be that person that's going to come back at them and, wish hate upon them. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to continue to try to inspire everybody. Yes, the kids, but also everyone. I feel like everyone should chase their dreams, no matter how old you are,
Right.
I mean, you only have one life at the end of the day. I think it's worth chasing your dream and saying, oh, well, at least I tried doing it, rather than, oh, I didn't try. I just gave up. I didn't even think about it. I don't know. That's personally me. AWP, I see that one.
So what would you say is AWP's bread and butter then?
AWP's bread and butter, I would say just our storytelling. Because at the end of the day, for me, I wanted something that's a little bit different. Now, in the indies, I've always felt that it was more like just put on some good matches, which is great. We love wrestling. Of course, I loved watching me a good match. But I wanted AWP to really have a great production, great storytelling, long-term storytelling. And, I feel like the biggest thing is me and Pac Ortega, we've been facing consecutively for over a year now, right? Different promotions. But we're using that to kind of build our own story and add even more longevity to it, adding a real story to it, adding different pieces. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me, just creating stories and getting the people, our fan base involved. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. I feel like that's what sets AWP apart. Just the fact that we really do look long-term. And we also are also just trying to help, like I said, we're also going to be bringing in big talent. Don't get me wrong, but we also do want to help, those that may be coming up, those that may be, maybe just graduates too, Well, I've had some conversations with some people, which I'm not going to give away too much on it yet, but I can tell you that I am in talks with a few different wrestling schools. We may have showcase matches for brand new graduates to try to help them, propel their career. At the end of the day, for me, it's about just bringing a big, great platform for wrestlers to come see what works, what doesn't, and to hopefully help propel them in their careers.
Hell yeah. I love that idea.
Exciting.
I really do.
That's exciting. Yeah, and I couldn't agree with it more. And I mean, I don't know if you know, but I also have. I mean, PPW is my promotion, and I can agree with everything you said. Like that's why I'm with you on all that. That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir. That's the plan, man. It's just to try to just try to do good in the world. And something we did at homecoming, which I got a lot of. I actually got some messages about it. We actually did even help a few local artists. You know, we had one of them come out, do the national anthem, and then we had another one perform a song that he had made for AWP after the show. You know, it's not just about wrestling for me, man. I mean, it's like, yes, of course, like that's our bread and butter. That is the main thing. But on top of that, we want to do stuff for our community. And that's what I loved about it personally. You know, just the fact that we got to let a performer, just to let a local artist come out and perform one of his songs after our show.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. People are already wanting to collab with PPW and AWP.
I'm open for it. I'm open to it.
The best statement ever made in wrestling that goes with any promotion: never say never. Those are words that fit everything. No matter what, never say never.
Yes, sir. That stays true even to this day.
So what would you say would be some of the most valuable lessons you've learned along the way for yourself?
I would say the most valuable lesson is probably what I've been preaching the most, man. It's just that things take time. You know, you can't give up on things. I know when I was at the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, man, I'm pretty sure y'all know Seth Rollins. He is a CrossFit Jesus. Like, that is his thing. You know, I went there. I'm not going to lie. I was a little cocky. I was like, man, I've been hitting the gym. I feel good. I got muscle. I got this. But then, no. Week 1, I was done. I was like, I felt so out of shape, man. I felt so out of shape. It was really tough. It was a rigorous course, but, you know, even though I was winded, even though the cardio was kicking my butt, I stuck with it, and now I'm here. You know, I feel like that's the biggest thing I've learned is like never let these things slow you down. You know, keep in mind what your long-term goal is and keep working towards it, because at the end of the day, you'll get there. You know, I never thought that within a year I would have even wrestled my first match, you know, because I know a lot of people that graduated even from the Black and Brave who still have yet to wrestle their first match, you know, and that's crazy to me, you know, and that's another reason why I started AWP, because I know what some of these guys can do, and I know if I gave them a platform, you know, hopefully that can help them, you know, and you know, that's the biggest thing I learned, man. Just never give up. It's kind of what John Cena always preached: never give up. I believe in that. You know, that's a real thing. I think that's an awesome thing that he did. Yes.
So now, do you have basically 2 parallel paths going right now? You know, talent and promoter or partner in a promotion. Down the road, you said having long-term goals. Do you see both of those still being able to stay parallel? Like, say, if maybe you blow up as a singles on your own, AWP stays kind of, you know, does what it's going to do. Like, how do you see you handling a situation like that? Whereas, like, if you make it, I mean, like a lot of times then you get into situations, you know what I mean, where you can't go back, you know?
Yeah. And honestly, when I think about it, my long term, and I've been even upfront with it with my co-owners too. The most important thing to me, obviously, is I would love to make it to, you know, one of, like, whether it's WWE, AEW, you know, one of the bigger promotions, because that's always been a childhood dream of mine. You know, that's my dream. But also, that doesn't mean you can't have other dreams, though. You know,
Sure.
For example, my coach, Seth Rollins, he is obviously, as we know, WWE superstar, but he also has so many other businesses that he runs. He runs a wrestling academy. He has a coffee shop. He has all these other businesses. So the way I see it is I see that it can still work. You know, it's not gonna be easy, and I'm pretty sure it's not easy for him. But, you know, if you want it that bad, and if you set your mind to it, you can definitely do it. So for me, I do see it working out. And I hope it does. You know, I do hope to achieve all the goals I have set for myself as a professional wrestler, but I also do hope to excel and achieve all of my goals as a promoter as well.
Very cool, man. Well, like I said, all these great statements you're making and everything kind of just makes me ready to, like, I mean, we can't really go much more from there. So what we do in the pit is we have a little segment that we do with every talent, all the guests that we've had in the show called a go home segment, which I don't know how familiar you are with the show. We'd give you 20 questions, rapid fire, back and forth between me and Brad. Sometimes they have something to do with wrestling. Usually they have nothing to do with wrestling. They're all short answers. We call it an AEW 5-second count, so it can be about 20 seconds really if you need it. Because the 5 count doesn't exist in AEW, but it's our go home segment. Are you ready to go home?
All right, let me drink some water. I'm really bad at answering things fast, but let's try it.
Boy.
Let's do it.
I think too much. All right.
All right, Elijah. What's your least favorite song that comes to mind right now?
I don't know. I'm already like, WAP. I don't know.
All right.
Okay, there you go. Would you rather have lived in the 1870s or the 1970s?
Probably 1970s. It sounds more modern. At least.
Yeah, definitely.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
The world may never know.
Perfect answer.
Would you rather wear a clown nose or a clown wig for the rest of your life?
Clown wig. I think I could rock it.
What sport makes the least sense to you?
Cricket.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking too.
Stupid sport. If you became president, what's the first thing you would change? Of the United States, to be clear.
Wrestling should be in every city. Yeah. Yes.
Mandatory. Mandatory.
What type of sock do you normally wear?
What type of sock?
Yeah.
I would say long.
Okay.
Nice. If you were invisible for one day, what would you want to observe?
That's a weird.
I'm telling you, you're in the pit, baby. Never know what you're gonna get.
Every wrestling show in existence. I don't have to pay. No, I don't have to pay.
There you go.
How many brownies could you eat if your life depended on it?
1,000. I love brownies.
Oh,
I love brownies, man. Don't even.
Would you rather go to the beach or the mountains?
The beach. I love water.
Cool.
What grade in school was your favorite?
Ooh, first grade, them naps. I missed nap time.
What's the difference between a cupcake and a muffin?
A cupcake has frosting.
True.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answers.
How many pairs of shoes do you
Until
currently
the
own?
last question, but we'll get to that. Sorry.
Can you repeat that one?
How many pairs of shoes do you currently own?
Too many. Too many.
What's the worst gift you ever received?
Socks.
Do you think Tupac is still out there somewhere?
No.
Fair enough.
Do aliens exist?
I think so.
Which turnbuckle is your favorite turnbuckle?
The top, because if that wasn't there, I'd have a bad lower back.
All right.
What's your favorite word?
Hi, I guess.
All right. In your own personal hell, what color are the walls?
The color they are now, I hate my room, man. I hate the room.
There you go. There you are. You made it.
That's great. That's a great answer. And I know I was a little dishonest earlier. I said there's no wrong answers, but there is wrong answers for this last question. We've asked this question. This is the same question we ask everybody. It's the 20th question we always ask. Do pineapples go on pizza?
I've never tried it, but no. I've never tried it, but I'm sticking with no. I have never eaten it to this day.
Okay. Are you asking them this question before you bring them on the show? Suddenly I'm having a string of terrible luck.
We're on a roll. I'm on a roll.
Oh, man.
You got it right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. This was a blast, man.
Yeah, this was fun. Yeah, I'm not asked to do a lot of podcasts, so for sure, this was definitely fun to do.
Awesome,
Well,
man.
give everybody a shout out. Shout out your Twitter, your personal information, whatever you want to throw out there.
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's Elijah_Galindo. On Facebook, I'll promote the promotion because that's the most important thing. Atlas Wrestling Promotion, guys, be sure to go follow. We will be live sometime here in the next 10-20 minutes. We'll be live with AWP Homecoming if you guys want to check it out. I highly recommend you guys do. It's an awesome card, and I can't wait to share it all with you guys.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Gotta put that one off real quick.
Yeah, I feel like the comment section completely disagrees with you. You might have to explain yourself to your fans about the pineapple on pizza.
But I'll just leave that one up then because I have control.
No, there's a couple others. There's others. Show them the other ones.
I must be having a glitch or something.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming in here, Elijah. It was
so much, man.
Thank you guys for having me. It was definitely a fun time. I love coming on here to be able to spread my positive vibes and the positive message and also share the word of AWP. It was awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Be safe.
Thank you. You guys too.
What a great show. I loved Elijah. That was awesome.
That was so good, man.
That was a ton of fun. For those of y'all that are still in the comment section, thank you so much for hanging out and throwing your feedback up there. I know some of y'all are smoking something weird because there's a lot of pineapple not being on Pizza Talk, and that just can't be right. So I'm gonna let y'all finish that. But we absolutely we have a killer weekend this weekend coming up. A lot of shout outs we've been talking about. Just want to remind everybody, Sabotage is running. Tomorrow night, New Texas Pro is running. Heavy Metal's running right now. You can't watch it unless you're live, but you can watch it on IWTV soon.
Whenever they release it.
AAPW is actually running their show this weekend. It's Pop's birthday show. He was on our show a couple weeks ago. So if you want to check that out live, you can. If not, you can check out the YouTube stream. And I think we said AWP is about to run their previous show on their Facebook page right after this. Yep. So you guys should check that out as well. I forgot you. I shouted out everybody I can remember.
That's impressive because I didn't remember having one. So good.
Ooh, Wrestle Vlogs is going to be at New Texas Pro Wrestling. Ooh, just keep your hands down, Julio. When you take a chop, you got to keep your hands down. You got to actually take it in the chest.
Yep. So that's all we got, I guess, huh?
That's another one in the books.
Sorry, I'm kind of stuck right here. Hold on. Frozen. Trying to get to the screen because they don't want to see us at the end.
They don't want to see me? Y'all don't want to see me?
They don't want to see me.
I don't want to see me either. Oh, beautiful.
Y'all be good. Be safe. Peace.